good morning. Here is the news at 10. First, the highlights. Lagos State Waste Management Agency embarks on motorized advocacy campaign to ensure sustainable environment. Senate passes bill for creation of special security outfit against illegal mining. On Warrington, Myanmar's military coup leader urges opponents to cease fire, starts political dialogue. And in sports, Nigeria Football Federation retains Eguavoen as Super Eagles interim coach. And now the details. I am Mike James. The Lagos Waste Management Authority LOMA has embarked on a motorized advocacy campaign to key areas of Etiosa local government to sensitize residents on sustainable environment as part of activities marking the authority's observance of World Cleanup Day. Speaking on the significance of the campaign, LOMA's Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer Muyiwa Gbadegesin, stated that the campaign is part of the agency's larger effort to mobilize individuals, communities and organizations to take immediate action towards a cleaner environment. Gbadegesin said the campaign is also aimed at addressing pressing waste management issues in the area, especially illegal waste dumping and cart pushing, which had posed a significant environmental challenge. He noted that the occasion of World Cleanup Day served as a reminder of the need for Lagosians to adopt sustainable waste practices like waste sorting, recycling, and the use of designated bins, adding that the practices were key to reducing the amount of waste on the streets and landfills. Lagos State government says no estate or association has the right to screen architectural designs or drawings or undertake state supervision of construction activities within the state. Commissioner for Fiscal Planning and Urban Development, Oluyinka Olumide, who affirmed this in Alausa, Ikeja, said these regulatory activities are reserved exclusively for government agencies by the law. Olumide also clarified that any involvement by state or associations in screening of drawings or state supervision of construction would constitute a breach of the law, which is reprehensible. He urged residents to report any illegal regulatory attempt in the sector to the appropriate authorities, adding that the Legacy government welcomes stakeholders' collaboration through whistleblowing initiatives. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu, has outlined a bold strategy to boost domestic agricultural production and increase food security. Edu, who spoke at a press conference in Abuja to mark the country's 64th Independence Day, declared that the era of heavy food importation must end, positioning this shift as a cornerstone of the government's economic recovery plan. He stressed that Nigeria's future lies in self-sufficiency. Edu said the government is committed to supporting small-scale farmers by providing critical inputs like seed and fertilizer under schemes such as the Nigerian Agricultural Growth Scheme. The member representing Kauru Federal Constituency in the National Assembly, Mukhtar Chawai, has flagged off the distribution of the first phase of free bags of fertilizers to farmers in Kauru local government area of Kaduna State. Chawai facilitated the bags of fertilizer intervention through the Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency as part of his constituency project to support small rural farmers to boost food production in the area. Chairman of the Central Distribution Committee, Shuaibu Guma, who flagged off the distribution at Kahuta village in Kauru town, said the intervention would enhance food production and economic development. And now to the rest of the stories. The Senate has taken a significant step towards curbing illegal mining and associated banditry as it passed the bill to establish a specialized security outfit for a second reading. The bill, sponsored by Mohammed Ono proposed the creation of the Nigerian Mine Rangers Service, NMRS, as security outfits to prevent illegal mining activities across the country. Presenting the bill, Onowu said the NMRS would be responsible for safeguarding mining operations, enforcing mining and environmental regulations, ensuring safety compliance, and promoting sustainable mining practices. Illegal miners in the country have promoted kidnapping and banditry in some of the states where Nigerian mineral resources are being mined. To curb their activities, the federal government, through the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development, introduced mining marshals, an interagency security outfit that incorporated special operatives from the Nigeria Police and the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, among others. Vice President Kashim Shettima has met with the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres at the UN headquarters in New York, where they discussed issues bordering on regional security, humanitarian relief, and Nigeria's role in international cooperation. Shettima, who is representing President Bola Tinubu at the ongoing 79th session of the UN General Assembly, was welcomed to the UN building by UN Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed, with whom he had a brief meeting following his discussion with the UN Secretary General. During the interactions, the Vice President emphasized the urgent need for relief efforts to address the devastating effects of climate change and drew attention to the urgent need for assistance in addressing the recent damages suffered by residents of Borno State in northeast Nigeria. He acknowledged the efforts of the United Nations, calling for increased support in stabilizing the economic community of the West African state ECOWAS region and implementing enduring, coordinated relief plans for food victims across Nigeria. On his part, the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres expressed his condolences on the recent losses in Nigeria, pledging increased support from the global body. And in some foreign news, Myanmar's military coup leaders have urged their opponents to put down their weapons and start political dialogue in a surprise move that was swiftly rejected. The State Administration Council urged the ethnic armed groups and People's Defense Forces fighting against military rule to give up what it described as a terrorist way, then start political dialogue. Meanwhile, the National Unity Government, NUG, which includes elected lawmakers removed in the coup, swiftly dismissed the offer. NUG spokesperson Neil Lott said it was not worth considering. The armed groups have taken control of swaths of the country since combined forces to launch a major offensive October last year, putting the military under immense pressure. And over to sports news. The Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, says Augustine Eguavoen will continue in his role as the interim coach of the Super Eagles. NFF said this in a statement on X, noting that the appointment followed a recommendation from the NFF's Technical and Development Subcommittee. Eguavoen will lead the Super Eagles in a 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying match against Libya next month. The 58-year-old had led the squad 3 times previously and steered the 3-time African champions to a 3-0 defeat of Benin Republic and a scoreless draw with Rwanda on March Day 1 and 2 earlier this month. That was our news at 10, but just before we go, maintain adequate distance from the vehicle ahead of you to avoid collision. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms on X, Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube, Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website at www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration constructed watchtowers with alarm bells and perimeter fences in model colleges? Well, you can get more details on the Legacy Government website, and to end the news, Here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Waste Management Authority LOMA has embarked on a motorized advocacy campaign to key areas of Etiosa local government to sensitize residents on sustainable environment as part of activities marking the authority's observance of World Cleanup Day. The Senate has taken a significant step towards curbing illegal mining and associated banditry as it passed a bill to establish a specialized security outfit for a second reading. We also told you that Myanmar's military coup leaders have urged their opponents to put down their weapons and start political dialogue in a surprise move that was swiftly rejected. And in sports, the Nigeria Football Federation says Augustine Eguavoen will continue in his role as the interim coach of the Super Eagles. And for contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Sadiq Yusuf. Thank you for listening. My name is Mike James. Good morning.